Paula. It's been a little while since we saw each other, but today we are trying something a little different. Today we are going to try cooking together. Today we are going to be making a roast chicken with hoisin sauce. I don't think this is a particularly traditional recipe in the sense that I don't know that my grandmother or her great-grandmother made it this way. For all I know, my mother could have seen this recipe in a newspaper and decided, I'm gonna try that, and decided that she liked it. But because my mom made it, and because I make it now, I think of it as a family recipe. And it does have a lot of the flavors that we think of when we think of traditional Chinese flavors, right? So we've got ginger, we've got garlic, we've got hoisin sauce. I'm gonna take some oil. I'm just gonna rub it into this bad boy's skin. I shouldn't say bad boy, probably bad girl. After all, I think most of the chickens that we eat are hens. And so, if you've never made a chicken before, I'm doing this just to help the skin stay moist and get crispy. It's kind of a 2-for-1. Moist on the inside, crispy on the outside. So, smear that on. Smear, smear, smear. And imagine you're giving this chicken a massage. Excuse me real quick, I gotta wash my hands. You know what? While my hands are clean, I think I'm gonna put some pepper on this chicken. If you're asking Molly, why no salt? Yes, in most cases you would salt the chicken, but I actually salted this last night. So I went to the supermarket yesterday, I got the chicken, I took out all the insides, and then I laid it in this pan with some salt overnight. And that also helps get a nice, really crispy skin, and it helps the salt really soak into the chicken. So that's good. That's a really nice way to do things. Pop the oil over there since I don't need it anymore. I've got my hoisin sauce. I'm gonna dump in the garlic. It's a lot of garlic, but you can never have too much garlic. I've got the ginger. I'm gonna dump in the ginger. And I'm just gonna mix them around. Once you've got a nice mix, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this spoon and I'm gonna spoon it over the inside and the outside of the chicken. So, I'm getting a little on the outside. You know, you don't need to be too precise. You don't need to be too precious. Whoops! You don't need to be too precious with this. Just wanna make sure that you've got all the flavoring really nicely distributed. And we want it on the inside and the outside so that the flavor seeps in from both sides. All right, now just like we did with the oil, we're gonna give this chicken a really beautiful hoisin massage. Get it on the top, get it on its wings, get it on its legs, flip it over, give it a nice back rub. Chicken loves a back rub. It's probably the least attractive recipe I could have picked for this shoot. Nobody really likes looking at a raw chicken, right? A raw chicken is kind of an icky, funny looking thing to be looking at, but I chose this for a couple reasons. First, because I love eating it. Figured if I have to record it twice, I would happily eat two of these roast chickens. Second, it's really easy. Anybody can make this, whether or not you have cooking experience. Third, it is something that makes me think of home. This is what the prepared chicken looks like up close. Like I said, raw chicken is not the most attractive of foods, but you can see it has a nice even coating all around. I haven't trussed it yet, meaning I haven't tied it up. I haven't tied up the legs yet, but that's a pretty good image of what it'll look like as you put it into the oven. So let's go ahead and put this into the oven. All right, there we go. Woof, look at this thing. It smells so good. And I know that this looks a little bit darker than a lot of chickens that we're sometimes used to seeing coming out of like a roast chicken. But this dark, caramelized, sticky, slightly sweet, slightly aromatic chicken reminds me a lot of like a really good barbecue. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes, then I'm gonna carve it up. And I love eating this with just a little bit of rice and vegetables. So I'm gonna cook up some rice and bok choy, and we'll see how that plates together. Thank you all for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this video. We hope that you'll consider trying this recipe yourself or contributing one of your family recipes to this project. If you'd like to know more about the project or to contribute something of your own, you can get in touch with us at communications@apalaweb.org. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to working with you. Here's a picture of the finished project.